defenders, BINOMISTAS. Here we go.
All right. Worth remembering that Nanana, I think, is the first mid-bat rider we had inside the entirety of South America, and he played that really well. It was super impressive. So I hope BINOMISTAS is aware of that.
I wonder if we're going to get the mini Void Spirit again here. I mean, the puck's already banned out. The Beastmaster's gone. Been loving that too. I think you're right, though, with like the potential for the snap or the Void Spirit. Just it feels nice. I mean, Mini's been one of our kind of star players in that mid lane.
Yep. He plays a lot of Invoker too. I don't think we saw that yet, but curious to see if we're gonna have maybe a Faceless Void game where they can play that Exhort Invoker. Lots of possibilities.
Don't forget about the Ember Spirit as well, gentlemen.
Yeah,
one of his historical favorites. We haven't been seeing Ember nearly as much, though. Honestly, it's a little bit refreshing. Like, he used to be our catch-all. I don't know, let's just pick Ember. He seems well-rounded.
He used to be the Void
finally
Spirit,
seeing
right?
teams like, yes, exactly. He's had his throne removed a little bit. So now the Ember feels like this ultra niche pick for like the real believers, you know?
Yeah, and this was actually banned first phase all 3 games versus the Defenders the last time they were playing too. So maybe a little bit of BINOMISTAS perhaps thinking that that's a comfort hero for them and also just a strong hero in its own right. So they just want to take it away.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like Miranda is such an interesting hero because, I mean, technically she can flex, but you usually just see it as a position 4, and you still see players and teams first picking a hero. You know, it's very hard to see that with other heroes. So I guess it just goes to show how strong the hero is in the meta right now.
The pickup or the pickoff potential is just brutal. Like any stun that you have leading into the arrow and someone's just dead.
Okay. The Centaur.
Well, here's a pretty mobile duo. Beefy as well. Some broad shoulders on these guys and also some fast feet. I like it.
Not a great counter to the Mirana +1s, honestly, with the Stampede. But everything else generally works pretty well. But the whole point of the Mirana is that like it takes one normal stun and then it just gets channeled into the arrow. So like the Stampede, you're not going to break up that chain stun, and then they instantly pick the Mars. So in terms of a Centaur getting picked up early, this is like the weakest instance I think I've seen of it throughout this season.
You do have the other side of the coin though, where like you can Stampede to help. But yes, if the goal is just to save that person, you can't really do it.
You mean like Stampede to get the aid in?
Yes.
Bring in the allies to save the stun target. Yeah. And I don't know, man. I don't know how you guys feel about Centaur, but I'm starting to become a real Suns fan, like Cult of Suns fan believer here. That even with these kind of counter picks, like I agree, Trent, that this isn't a great setup for a Centaur. I still think Centaur's worth it. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm not even trying to say it's bad. I'm just saying it actually looks like it might have some problems for once.
Yeah, so this will be a good test here, a good calibration of how strong the Centaur actually is.
So they did remove the Beastmaster that Mini has been playing. They take the Wraith King out. What are the like? Do you take Ursa maybe, just because it's still an Ursa?
Yeah, maybe Troll too. I feel like Troll has I don't know. Trolls just look kind of nice lately.
Bears are bears. I would consider banning the Monkey King. It's very good against Centaur. It's great with Mars.
It is. It actually really is.
I know the hero's not good, but
I think it's actually
he's also
a better
not the
spot
worst.
now. I think it will be like Monkey King will definitely be picked eventually. I guess we saw one off-lane Monkey King. I'm not sure if Carry is back.
We saw the badass off-lane Monkey. I mean, that was
BINOMISTAS that played it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
True.
Oh snap! I forgot, Trent.
Mr. Sexy Fat, I believe, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. But I guess with this Mars, kind of likely that they play Mars 5, right? Because the run's going to be a 4, but always got to be mindful. I think there's team. Like, there's a Division 1 team that plays Mars 5. Maybe it's under Predator.
I think Kuro played it one time just for the stats.
I think MJZ plays Mars 5 sometimes. But, yeah, they take the Bloodseeker. Very strong carry in dispatch. We yet to see it since week 1. But obviously scary. I
would love a Dispel for the Defenders. I think Grimstroke's actually kind of okay. I know it's like a Shard Dispel, but it is kind of nice versus the Mirana, I feel like.
They could steal Abba, right? There was a week we saw a lot of ABBA 5 right in the beginning, but especially with the
My
Mirana.
problem is I see Mirana Myers offlane. I don't know if I want to be ABBA 5 with like Jug and Troll not being like, what's my one gonna be? That feels okay in that lane.
I see. There's still Lifestealer. I think his stonks are going up against this Mirana Mars lineup.
We need to see a couple good Lifestealer games. I love him in theory. I think on paper he's solid, but and most of the times he's been picked up, it hasn't really felt that great. It's been hard to get the infest bombs going, hard to find that item cadence. Maybe it's just been a matchup issue, or it's been the lesser team playing him. We've had a pretty small sample size, but I'm yet to have one. Have we had a really good show?
I don't think so.
5 seconds remaining.
History tells us they're about to pick Phoenix. It was like literally their last game they played here was Earth Spirit, Centaur, Phoenix.
Okay. I thought that maybe they were actually going for the Lifestealer since they removed the Weaver. A pretty bad matchup. Oh. Is this a first one?
The other way.
I think we saw her.
Yeah, I don't think we have. I mean,
I think there was one. I remember
I would have talked about the Shard
or
or something though.
You did. I remember you talking about how dumb the old one was and how it was better because you could cast on other people, but using it on yourself was really stupid, and that the new Shard might be viable. I have a vivid memory of this.
I did talk about that. Yeah,
I hope
nice one.
Latam defenders just pick Canal because BINOMISTAS, they're going to go for it. They already played this, and it's so obnoxious. You get the X into the freaking stun, into the arrow, into the spear. You either need a Lifestealer right now, or I think you have to snatch the Kankan because it's so obnoxious. Oh, okay.
I want the old Spectre.
Not really what
so
I expected.
Why Crystal Maiden over Phoenix? They had the Mirana. I mean, I do like the Egg versus the Arena for both the Sunray as well as just the Egg and like the damage and the stun and everything. So I guess they were just a little bit worried about their laning stage. I don't know if CM is really the hero to solve that problem in a lot of situations, though.
Root versus Mirana, pretty cool.
I think she's underrated. I think she's a much stronger laner than a lot of people give her credit for. You know, she just secures every single range creep. It will allow that Spectre to jungle the Radiance or whatever item she goes for a little bit faster. I think it increases everyone's tempo a little bit, and it shouldn't be that scary of a lane if the Crystal Maiden plays in the lane and not outside. Because the only way they hit the arrow is with the spear. If CM plays like behind the Spectre in an angle where there's no trees, I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, but how do they keep the lane where they want it?
Yes, that is. I think you have to block the large camp, and you have to, and then it's pretty okay, right? Because they push their lane much more than Spectre does.
Yeah, we'll see where they set up if they end up going top or something.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's possible. Maybe they try lane. I don't know.
Dire team ban.
Oh, the Lifestealer will be snagged by them.
Lifestealer. Oh man, BINOMISTAS draft is so much better.
I'll probably ban Viper, I would guess, if you're the defenders next.
Okay, they take the Visage. Viper is good. What else is...
Feels like it would just be such an easy solution. It's just like, I mean, another stun is kind of nice versus the Stampede, but like the passive break is pretty brutal versus Centaur and Spectre.
Yeah.
And there goes the mini Void Spirit.
Okay. I hope they take
all the Mini still in play.
What are we playing this game? We're getting low on options.
I mean, they're going to ban Storm next, surely, right? Just because they have the Infest Bomb and the ET, the Arena, Zip Pull into Arrow.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah,
I feel like these will just be their two bans.
5 seconds remaining.
Is Mini just going to play Invoker?
It's pretty good.
It's kind of good. Yeah, versus Stampede, too.
I guess a good question is, what is Na likely to pick up? Probably not Tinker against the Lifestealer. I think we can cross that one off.
I like the Batrider option for them, since he goes for Rage. You also don't care about the Arena. Pretty fast tempo hero.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. It's like, in the lane setup, Lifestealer is good against Bat, but if it's a mid-Bat, the Lasso kind of reigns supreme throughout the mid-game. That's a pretty cool solution.
And you have Lasso into Stampede, so that's actually super powerful.
Yeah,
it's good Razor ban.
Yeah, your
been
classic
a really nice
Lifestealer counter.
Game. Yeah, with Mars and ET too, though.
Oh, they take. Oh, so they think this is mid Mars?
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good snipe, I think. Just in case.
All right. I'm down with the Batrider, dude.
I mean, what else is there?
Storm's pretty bad
Lash.
here.
10 seconds remaining.
Beast is bad.
Lash is kind of scary though. He's squishy.
Ember's terrible.
5 seconds remaining.
I guess they
They
could
could
Viper.
snap. They want Viper,
Choose
yeah.
your hero.
Okay.
They might have had him on the brain thinking that could be a problem for them, but no, ends up grabbing it. So Visage and Viper, same hero basically.
I mean, if this is
difference,
mid
really?
Mars, the Viper actually does a lot, right? Because you take the passive away from him, he suddenly becomes much weaker. But I don't know.
I mean, yeah,
I prefer a BINOMISTAS draft. I think they have, very solid push. Lifestealer doesn't need that many items. It's just a much simpler draft to play. And since I consider this seems to be equally skilled, I think they have a slight edge here.
I don't know, man. I got to go back to yesterday. Viper versus Lifestealer. I was confident in the Viper when it was position 5 against Lifestealer. Now, that game was a big skill mismatch in terms of the team, so not fair to compare. But Viper, I think he's going to make Benny's life a living hell. Mr. You just rage out of the nether toxin. Well, that's when the Viper strike comes, Mr. Bowie. I don't think he can handle it.
Okay.
To me, the enabling of Benny might be the hardest part in this game. Just like finding the right times to be involved and not be involved in the Lifestealer could cause some issues, whereas it's just so much easier as Spectre to like haunt in and fight and go back to what you were doing.
It is
and without missing out on any pacing.
Worth noting.
I like this. Both analysts saying that there's an ease of execution advantage. Same argument, but for the opposite teams. Bowie thinks it'll be the BINOMISTAS, and Trent goes, Spectre are.
I think defenders are easier to play, personally. I'd rather have that line.
I agree. I actually agree. I think Lifestealer is way more delicate than Spectre. Listen, Bowie, all right? Spectre's my most played carry for one reason. You press R, you got Centaur, you press R, Viper's got like one spell. This is the easiest lineup ever, except for Earth Spirit.
Look, I agree.
Well, now here's what
Spectre
I'll say.
is easier
I still
to
think
play, but I think BINOMISTAS draft in its totality is easier to play. That's
totality. All right, good word. Good word.
I do like the cooldown of Arena. I think that, to me, that makes it a little bit better. I am going for the BINOMISTAS overall. I will give them a very, very slight edge. But yeah, should be a good game.
All right, well, there we go. Looking fairly even here. Game number 1. We've got 2 series today and a pause to get us started. Gary, the tradition continues, my friend. How are we today? Are we bright? Are we bushy-eyed? Are we prepared for more Dota?
Yeah, we absolutely are. It's still bright here in Europe, still daylight outside, and continuing that tradition. We had a couple of games with no pause, a bit of a break from tradition the other day, Theban, but here we are. Game 1, drafts all done. Which way do you go? Ease of execution wise, Trent goes one way, Bowie the other. Do you have an angle on that?
I think it's really hard to say. It must be very even in draft just because of the potential of the Viper in this game. I think this Viper hero can absolutely demolish. We've seen, who was it? Season 1, Leo style against a Viper where he got destroyed as a Death Prophet. And there's always that possibility that could happen again. And if one Viper just pops off in a game, he can take over the entire game.
Yeah, suddenly just start snowballing, run into your other lanes, throwing those poison attacks at you, gets real nasty. But I guess one of the things we have to look for is that Viper skill build, right? Because we had a game earlier on in Season 2 here where we maxed out Nether Toxin, and you weren't too happy with that.
No, that was god-awful. I mean, it's just like super farm intensive. I remember that game, the Silence were losing, and now you have a Viper in the jungle, your carries in the jungle, the offlane wants the jungle too, and then no one's making space on the map. This time, there's an Earth Spirit, a Crystal Maiden, 2 really good setups for your hero to play off of. Centaur to get you out of trouble, which is really nice. But I don't like the Centaur versus Mars, though. Mars is incredibly good against Centaur. It's very similar to Puck Coil. Just pin the Centaur, pin the heroes that you want to go on down so they can't just stampede and run out of there. I also see some other good things like Lifestealer Elder Titan, which can destroy the Centaur in the lane. Then Lifestealer in general could be a really good hero against Spectre. It kind of goes both ways depending on who has items, because Lifestealer doesn't really enjoy playing against Manta heroes.
Yeah, that's true. And another kind of big conversation around that Zyori kind of started there is I love his terminology, the item build cadence, trying to figure out what fits with synchronizing with your team, what fits with the hero, synchronizing with the hero's timings, trying to figure out exactly what progression to go for, because we've seen a bit of everything, right? Battle Fury, Armlet, Deso. We've seen all these little builds come up, and in this game in particular against a Spectre, do you want to try and race the Spectre towards late game, or do you want to go for that early power spike with some heavy minus armor and big right clicks?
I think you need to go for the early game, but Battle Fury probably not the best option. Yeah, we can see here he's queued up that Maelstrom. I like it. Just get in with the Mars with the early blink timings. The Death Prophet, she needs another body in front of her so she can you can take that off of her so she can just push with the Exorcism, which is really nice. You want to keep Latin defenders down. Spectre is only good against Lifestealer as the game goes later. So you want to be able to take full advantage of that early game.
Get right up in their faces. Make life difficult for them. It looks like there's not going to be... Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, this Viper, this is the lane we got to watch. You got to see if Na is going to destroy Mini or not. Because everything we say doesn't matter if the Viper destroys the Death Prophet.
It becomes a real one-way street if that happens. Definitely keep our eyes on that, as we don't get any contest around the bounty runes. Just going to go 2 for 2 and get our lanes all set up. As it also appears we're not going to have any of those initial tri-lane movements. We've seen a lot from South American teams, especially, put your POS 5 into the off lane for maybe a kill attempt. Maybe we'll just go for their normal 2-1-2.
It's much better that they just start like this, so the Crystal Mini can save her teleport scroll. She also has enough mana. CM starting 3 heroes in one lane just feels awful. Been in that position many times. I always tell my team, hell no, that's not happening. Even if my team is baiting me with first blood.
Don't go for it. Just keep it stable in your lanes.
Wow, look at this top lane bullying.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Valky did miss his first stomp, but Benny with New Archers just goes straight in with the massive punches.
That's normally we see that
the 2 heroes.
Feast level 1, but Benny's gone for the Ghoul Frenzy, plenty of extra attack speed, also like a Orb of Venom onto these 2 heroes too. I would have actually liked to have seen Nuage not go for boots though. Like, he knows it's gonna be double melee, but he still opted to go for boots. So whenever you're playing support, you have to think about who you're laning against and what item build to go. If you went for like even a Windlace, Orb of Venom, and then brought out some regen, that would have been sweet. Or don't go the Windlace, just go Orb of Venom and some regen items and just trade like crazy against the melee guys.
So what's the thought process then behind it if he has gone for this? Is it kind of thinking Earth Spirit's going to be dragging waves, or are you trying to get to pull spots faster?
It is possible with the dragging of the waves, but I do think he just kind of autopiloted most of the time. ET just goes boots. Yeah. Ooh.
Beautiful kickback, but Sexy Fat's the one that gets first blood in the other lane. Both side lanes, a bit of a bloodbath there, and Angel is the first one to drop. And then taking a peek into that mid lane, the important one. Na, he is starting to dominate now. A good wave of CS ahead of the DP, gets his water rune up. And Mini.
He's got to keep the wave on his hill though, so the DP can't just walk in. Oh, he misses it. The creep's going to the tower. Feels bad, man.
He's trying to drag it out.
Yeah. But that's how you win this lane. Just get the creeps on top of your hill. Keep it there. Don't let them go into your tower. Then the DP can't go into the river. She's going to be afraid of just dying to poison attacks.
Yeah, you can see Mini just standing on top of his high ground, waiting for that next creep wave to come in. It will arrive, but no, definitely not a good feel for the Death Prophet. And down in that bot lane, we've got Spectre Maiden against that Mars Mirana. Of course, Angel did already die, but immediately TP'd back down, threw a couple of spells onto Jupiter, forcing salves and that. And I guess most importantly, keeping that Spectre farming away.
Yeah, this lane is very difficult for the CM Spectre. Not a whole lot of kill potential here. I guess the way they can go about this is if they just keep spamming the Mars, shove the lane out, get the CM to get some pulls going, but Mirana, she won't let that happen easily. She's gonna be there in the jungle. It would be really bad though if the Crystal Maiden was to play in the lane against Mars and Mirana, because now you're opening yourself up to the rebuke into the spear combo. Then the arrow comes out. You're just gonna die. Oh, nice rotation
in the
middle.
mid lane.
I like this.
There's Mini. Moonlight is going to try and take down Mini, but the Spirit Siphon with the bottle still dies. No.
Actually,
that poison attack still brings it down.
It's better that the Earth Spirit died first, because Na got all the solo XP there, Gary. And now the Death Prophet is going to struggle even harder. Level 5.5 Viper, DP not even 5 yet.
Yeah, like DP, that experience was split a couple of ways. 50 experience apiece, while Viper gets 303.
The prize is mine.
Oh, massive bonus there for Na.
Huge. About to be level 6 as well.
30 CS. Pretty much tripling up the CS of the Death Prophet at this point. And farming out that side camp with that Nether Toxin. And yeah, it is the 3 points in poison attack, 1 in Nether Toxin.
Also didn't realize. He's got that ward there too, just to see the small camp, see what's going on in there. If you can just quickly snag up that creeps, I like that.
Down
See at bottom, boom.
Angel. That's the combo.
1-2
Spear
punch.
into arrow. And they also keep the Spectre down too. I mean, Cuckoo's trying to battle this. I don't know if that's the wisest move, but he does have stick charges up his sleeve. We'll be able to stick around in lane, but I don't know, needs a salve, needs more regen. And I was going to ask, he's gone for this, boots of speed, band. Oh, top lane, hang on a second. That's a roll and a kick onto Benny. Rages it away. And he does get out of danger.
And
yeah, the Spectre not going for any rings. No ring of regen, not going for any of that. Straight into the treads.
Yeah, I think we're seeing more of this. The power treads into just a blade mail, just farm. Jupiter. Dead.
There's the blast from Angel. Turn it back onto Sexy Fat too with a dagger. That is a tanky Mars. He's gonna slip away from them.
He hesitated on the Mirana because the Crystal Maiden was right in front. He thought maybe, oh, the CM's gonna tank this arrow. You don't need to think about that stuff. Just chuck the arrow out. If it hits the CM, that's fine. At least you don't die on your Mirana. You have a Fairy Fire, you have Wand. Because he was thinking, he didn't even click those items, Gary. Mirana should not have died there. Oh, Mini?
Don't think.
Nice
just cast your spells. And there he is, Mini, under his own tier 1 tower. Just going to get burst down, and Moonlight's rotations really making it work. And you can see what Centaur's doing, right? He's kind of dragging waves around, so the lane top doesn't really exist. So it's kind of hard to get information on where people are.
Yeah. I mean, Valkyrie, he's doing the smart play. He doesn't want to just sit in the lane and get hit by the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is level 5 now. Before that, with the level 2 Retaliate, he was doing great. Now he's got level 3 Retaliate. He's killing these camps back here very easily. Like, the only way he's gonna die is if the Death Prophet and the ET go there. But the DP is suffering so much, Gary, that he can't even go in to stop Valkyrie from doing this.
Yeah, DP.
Mini's playing the catch-up game.
Yeah, pop level 6 has that Exorcism. We'll see if they actually get some use out of it, because they are roaming into mid. ET plus that Mirana. Moving towards Na with the sleep catching the Viper and an arrow there. They'll throw the Exorcism as a massive kill for the BINOMISTAS.
There's the rotation from the supports. The sleep into arrow, very potent. And mid tower's gonna take a lot of damage here. No one's ready to defend this. Centaur's got 150 HP. CM Spectre, they ain't moving too much here. CM OTP in.
It's dangerous though. Spirit Siphon plus the Astral Spirit. And they roll on to Nuages. Crystal Maiden backs away. Elder Titan very speedy though with his boots and that spirit going. He's trying to escape out of here, and the arrow slides straight past them as the ET salves.
Yeah.
And an arena down bottom. Cuckohook's being gone on by Sexy Fat. Does he get the finish? Not quite. Spectre survives.
Has to TP back though. Won't be able to go into a lane and get the XP. Only level 5 right now on Spectre. Yeah, she's super under leveled in this, Gary. But that mid play there, where the CM TP's in, even if she died, that would have been really good, because you save your mid tower. So just losing one hero to save your mid tower, that's completely fine in those situations.
Under reward though, unfortunately. Angel gonna get stomped upon by the ET. And Jupiter gets on top of the Crystal Maiden. Finds the nice little snipe out. But they've got a very good idea, yeah. Purple Maiden pinging that ward out. They know there's vision in the area. Everything's seemingly going pretty well here for the Latam defenders. As Valkyrie, he's dragging Benny around. Stomp it as well.
Oh
TP
man,
out.
So obnoxious.
And now Moonlight's left here to deal with a Lifestealer. Benny just munching away at him. And only level 1 roll, so a pretty long cooldown. Yeah, need the Stampede to get him out of danger. Also allowing Cuckohook to kind of disengage from Sexy Fat too.
Yeah. If there was a hero in real life I would not want to meet, it's Lifestealer, man. Like, he doesn't just kill you, he just eats away at you slowly by slow, you know? And you're not dead, you're just feeling all that suffering, the pain. You just shiver, Gary?
Yeah, it's not a nice thought. Don't want that. Sexy Fat through his arena, but dies to Moonlight and Angel is rotating. Cuckahook, is he surviving with some nice little tread swaps and a one pop? Cuckahook, he does finally die, but Nuage is under the tower, being shredded by the hits, and Angel with a slow will find that 2-for-1 trade.
Good for the supports of Latin defenders. Viper did use a TP there, but they lost the Spectre again. Like, as in, she TP'd back to base, had to come back bottom, and then died again. So she hasn't been able to farm for the past 2 minutes. I feel like even though they lost 2 heroes, this does benefit BINOMISTAS. Having the carry being dead, and Benny having free farm top.
Exactly, that's the big point, right? Is Benny is continuing to accelerate while Spectre's being shut down. And that's that kind of a very important window of the game where Lifesteal will be ready to fight and Spectre probably won't be, as we wanted that early pressure to come out of the Dire squad. Spectre's going to make her home up top though, showing with Valkyrie in that top lane near the tier 1. And a long smoke in from mid. Trying to focus Cuckahook, they spot the Spectre. Spirit, Stomp, Jupiter has an arrow, chuck it in there, and Mini actually pops the ulti. Exorcism out there onto Cuckahook will take the Spectre down for pretty much the 3rd time in a row. Viper and Maiden, they have arrived, wanting Mini. Dangerous battle, though, coming into this Exorcism. Centaur, though, backstab with the Stomp. Finds a nice play. Moves in onto the DP while Benny rages up. Only level 1 rage. Does have phase boots infest to maneuver himself a little further forward. And he's going to infest in, maybe jump out. Valkyrie is about to drop. Move forward to the Maiden, but the Stomp holds no items in place. Valkyrie survives. The urn doesn't take him down, and Nana comes out with a double kill.
Wow. Yeah, Mirana leapt in. She's like, oh, I got this kill. It's a Vanguard Centaur. That blocks a lot of damage. You can't do it. It's 70 damage block, so Mirana just doesn't have the last hits to be able to bring the Centaur down. I felt like it was really awkward to go in with the Lifestealer there. You only got level 1 rage. There's a Viper right in front of you. If you try to get out with your level 1 rage, you're just going to get killed off by the Viper. Teammates die.
He's going on the Maiden. Angel's gonna die.
Ooh.
There's Benny munching away and closing in on the Maelstrom, which you'll have in about 30 seconds.
You gotta stop saying munching away, Gary.
Munching.
It keeps giving me creepy thoughts right now with this Lifestealer.
Okay, I'll stop it. Moonlight dodges the arrow bottom. Still being chased down by Sexy Fat. 3 Dire heroes here, but a TP out cancelled by the arena by the spear.
Got no mana too. It's looking pretty dead, Gary.
2 stick charges in a second. Is that going to get him enough for a roll? Moonlight's going to get stomped up. Can't quite roll away.
Boom. Stomp. That's one of the most badass spells in the game, right? This Echo Stomp just looks so nice when it lands.
It's beautiful. Nice bass echoey sound as well.
Valkyrie walking top with the Spectre now. It looks like they want to be able to protect Cuckahook from this Lifestealer. Get him to this Blade Mail and maybe push in this top tower as well. And it looks like Lifestealer is just going to get out. Doesn't know where the Viper is either. Viper is jungling, but you know, it's always that risk. It might be smoking up top and you don't want to get caught with your pants down.
And it's kind of that natural time. 10 minutes or so into the game. Pos 1 from the Dire moves bottom. Tier 1 top does fall though, like you say. Valkyrie and Cuckahook up there securing a nice portion of the map for Spectre to actually get some farm going. Well, she does have her treads and blade mail completed. With Haunt ready, feels like the Latam defenders could be ready to pull that trigger and actually look for a fight. And with the smoke, they'll be aiming for it. Get down into that bottom jungle, defend your tier 1 mid. It's very low HP and it's a very obvious objective for the BINOMISTAS to want to take, and they're going to Moonlight Shadow towards it, but the scan has already connected on them. So the Latam defenders have got a pretty good idea this is coming. They just need some more reveal to spot out these Dire heroes. How do they start this fight? They're just going to let their tier 1 fall? Glyph is used up.
Man, the Viper, he feels kind of strong, but he has boots of travels, so it's kind of awkward. Oh man.
They dodge the Stomp.
Exo.
Nice kick, and now it's Stampede. Centaur goes straight on in. Focusing Nuages. There's the arena, though, with a freezing field bursting through them. They do take down Mini and Benny. The Radiant just slaughter them.
Oh man.
Crystal Maiden, the real carry in this game, inside of that arena, just pops her ulti, and the Mirana's also dead. It's a 5-man wipe. The ET
that's
brought
such a
back, and he's just
disaster.
like, oh, where's my team?
Gary, they went onto the DP. The Lifestealer went in, gave her the boost of HP. She felt confident, drops the EXO. As soon as the Lifestealer gets out, bam! She's just dead. They used everything onto her. And she's pretty much their only source of damage, Gary. You can't do anything on anybody else on BINOMISTAS at the moment. Like, just look at that. Oh, Mirana. The Earth Spirit didn't even have to use Magnetize. He used it on that Mirana at the end there. Like, that's how much damage they had.
Yeah, it was, great stomp, great moving from the Viper, like freezing field, pretty much full duration channel inside the arena. That's great, and it kind of all comes down to that first, missed stomp. Really, Elder Titan, one of the few stuns that BINOMISTAS has in these team fights, because you're wanting spear, catching a single target inside the arena. Arrow's not really that consistent.
Yeah, and you're gonna want your Earth Splitter to do a lot of damage as well in these engagements. The hero is just not that powerful if you can't land that spell in these 5v5 team fights. So you can see who the real target is, right? For BINOMISTAS. They gotta get the Crystal Maiden. They gotta kill her. She's got that max out frostbite, very annoying. She's got that freezing field that can do a lot of damage if you just let her go. You got a few stuns, you got one silence. Just deal with her, so you don't have to waste those spells.
Especially when she's so squishy.
Yep. Again, though, it's just so awkward if Minnie's the one who's going to get caught out first. This goes back to the draft, how we talked about if the Viper destroys the DP, this is not going to be a contest. And that's what's happening right now.
They go on Valkyrie, but missing the spear.
He's good. He's got that beat. They're going to chase him down. They're going.
Great initiation, and there's the roll. Dusting up the Mars. They're going to try and catch a number of them here. It looks like Sexy Fat just dead to rights, and the roll from Moonlight catching a secondary target. The tertiary target is Viper killing off the Mirana, and the BINOMISTAS just losing so much. The TP home from Nuage is successful at the very least. But disaster strikes yet again. It feels like a bit of tilt from the BINOMISTAS as well. Desperately getting into that Radiant jungle, wanting to kick something off. Get the pressure away from Benny and Minnie. But it's just feeding this angry beast of the Latam defenders.
I would say Benny's not feeling too much pressure in terms of farming, because he knows he always has these escapes, but BINOMISTAS are feeling the pressure of the Spectre farming a lot right now. Cause
they found Minnie.
Oh no,
completely isolated. Out on her own, the Death Prophet throws a Spirit Siphon on the Yules, casting as many spells as she can before she dies, because that is an inevitable death.
That means when she's alive,
unstoppable.
She's gonna be missing 2 charges as well of her siphons. That's gonna feel bad. And look at the Spectre, just chilling top, farming there. Her team is owning like crazy. She's catching back up, almost reaching Lifestealer's net worth.
And go on, team, crack on. Go find some more kills. Smoke up, Moonlight, Valkyrie, Angel, all moving in towards that mid lane. Nuage he is the one out there that's kind of positioned to break these smokes or maybe find them. And there's no one in that mid spot. Angel still going into an interesting position. Obs Ward under a sentry though, gonna get scouted out there by the BINOMISTAS.
Oh, Minnie, where you going? Okay, all right. He has a word on Moonlight, so he knows what's up. He's just chilling, waiting for the creeps to come in. Just want some farm.
Trying to bait them down bottom.
Yeah, they're smoking.
He's actually
putting. They want to go
himself down there as a target.
Exactly, they're under vision. Like, if this is not the fight you're gonna take, then I don't know when you're gonna play.
I'm gonna jump the Viper, but missed the spear again. Sexy Fat. That is not good. Taken down. The Mars is gone. The Earth Splitter comes, but the Spectre's haunted in, and they're gonna go for the Elder Titan. Rolling deeper. Moonlight TPing home. As he yells to cancel it though. Spectre still unable to finish off the ET. They dust up, but Moonlight is about to drop. Rolls himself away. The final hit from DP.
Oh, the smoke.
Oh, he's in busy. Smoked, so he dodges it.
Okay, he keeps himself alive. I don't know if that's a good use of a smoke, but I guess we'll take it, Gary. Cool place.
Yeah, he survives.
Viper
gets
with the Aghanims. Chasing for more. Mini. Oh, jeez.
That was dangerous.
Yeah, that Centaur just grazed her ass. Just got out. Whew.
Mirana's doing some sneaky work, de-warding, trying to cut waves, make a bit of space. It definitely feels Latam defenders have full control of this game now.
Yeah.
5k lead.
They're going to be pretty satisfied with that haunt usage, I guess, even though they didn't get too many kills out of it. Just, I mean, the Viper got out of there. Like, that should not have happened. That's 100% a kill on the Viper if you land that arena combo. But missing a second spear. This is the one thing I hate about Mars. It's like, if you miss your ability one time, you just put your entire team in jeopardy.
Yeah. It has to land. Absolutely has to. Especially when you're, again, going back to like consistent stuns, kind of lacking from the BINOMISTAS. That is their primary form of teamfight initiation. I'll try and play this tight-knit group up top. Gather up around Benny's Lifestealer, and you're thinking about that Roshan. If you can maybe sneak it, if you can battle around it, that is the next big objective for both squads. As they do spear up Moonlight. Stomp from Centaur, though, catches out Sexy Fat, and then comes the Crystal Maiden with a freezing field and nothing to stop her. Zones them all away, the Magnetize takes down Jupiter, and DP's Exorcism, Mini's used it, but the Radiant will just disengage.
Yeah, this is going to feel real bad for Mini too. Like, that Earth Spirit is so tanky there, Gary, that they had to spend so much time killing him. He even got a Magnetize off in the end, and they just traded the 4 for the 4. And Death Prophet popping this Exo means for the next 2 minutes, BINOMISTAS are not going to be looking for any fights. Oh god, she wanted the
Mini,
arcade. No,
the Blink
Mini.
Stomp straight into the center on the Viper, the Stampede back. It looks like Valky doesn't want to stick around. The freezing, the Frostbite there forces the self-fuels.
Nice
Mini
sleep,
pops
though.
to 1, backs away. Is she going to survive? The Ghosts are coming back to heal her up, so it looks like she's
Very
fine.
nice. Okay, good stomp there from the Elder Titan.
Oh.
Kept her alive.
It's just heart-in-mouth moments, though, for the BINOMISTAS. Everything becoming so scary. Every step you make, there is a response, another action from Latam defenders, which is putting you at risk of losing.
You know what? The more I think, but the more I watch this game and I'm putting myself in BINOMISTA's position, I'm thinking like, if I'm Lifestealer, maybe I should have just got like an armlet this game, you know? Something more right-click heavy. Try to play with my Mars Blink Dagger, get some quick kills in the early game on the Crystal Maiden or some sort. Maelstrom is nice, but if you look back on history and you see like the Lifestealers that really succeeded with the Impest bombs, it was always the Armlet ones. And Armlet got buffed up too in this patch.
That's kind of why we talked about it at the start, that Armlet Deso AC, that was the old classic. We've seen a few players kind of toy with that idea as well in recent times. I guess Maelstrom is just such a feel-good item, allows you to farm.
Yeah, it's nice. Like, it helps you farm very quickly, especially with the Ghoul Frenzy. You got a lot of attack speed, but man, I feel like the burst damage is just not there with the Maelstrom.
Unless you get
And
real
that's
lucky.
what's lacking. Yeah. Because this DP had an awful game, right, Gary? Like, look at him. Mini, this is not his normal kind of game. 2 and 5, trailing behind, like, the Spectre by a lot, actually. Only ahead of the Centaur by a little bit. This man is normally the star of this team.
And it's kind of compounded by the fact that, DP kind of wants to be the one making those first steps towards towers, towards objectives, using Exorcism as the, existential threat that your opponents are always afraid of. So far, it's been used defensively or in awkward teamfight situations, and they've not been able to get the upper hand or convert into towers or objectives that well.
Oh, smoke up. Oh no,
They are. Invis Viper, yeah. And spot out Sexy Fat, cancel his blink, move in, but they miss the stomp. Many turns with the Exo, half HP with the Spirit Siphons,
Nice
trying
stomp.
to bring the DP back up. The Earth Split is coming in, but Mini's dropping so low so quickly. It's a 4-man arena in there. Jupiter jumps with the Starstorm, but it bursts through the Sexy Fat Mars as Na loses his life. Jupiter down to
Benny.
Cuckhook, and now the real carry emerges. Spectre has arrived and is ready to fight. In we go with a double for Spec and another 5-man wipe. BINOMISTAS get demolished.
Wow, again, another fight where they start the engagement onto the Death Prophet. It looked good. Like, when she was able to get the Exhaust, she was running in, but there's just too much damage. Check out the Haunt here, the Viper not being pressured up, but she's just trading back into the DP. Lifestealer goes in for the kill, but it doesn't matter. The rest of your team is already starting to fall. one by one. They get the Viper kill, but then this Lycer just gets kited as soon as the rage ends, and he can't do anything anymore.
That Spectre comes into the fight at like the perfect time, like kills a hero. Who's next? Who's next? You know, it keeps looking for target after target.
I'm not so sure if the Diffusal is that good of a purchase here. I like the Blame, I like the Manta, I would have loved the Scotty, but it's doing alright, you know? In the position you're in, where your team is just dominating so hard, it doesn't really matter what you buy in the end, I guess. And now they're gonna get a free Roshan. So much damage from the Desolate, from the Spectre. Gonna get an Aegis for herself, easy.
Yeah. 2 lives on Spectre. 70 seconds for that next haunt though, so I guess Cook-a-Hook could kind of sit back, farm if he wants to, but it doesn't look like they want to. Jupiter is going to get blown up. They go on the aggressive. Try and keep the BINOMISTAS down. Don't relinquish any map control.
When you're so far ahead, or you know you're going to be able to win teamfights, you also got the Aegis, the cooldowns become less relevant. It's more about what position of the map you want to take over, and you just go there with 5 of your heroes. So you're either controlling top and middle, or you're controlling mid and bottom. At this point in the game, it looks like Latin defenders want bottom and mid. Viper has Boot to Travel, so he can always connect to his team easily, while playing very safely when pushing top lane out.
Mars has already blinked. He moved forward, blinking onto that creep wave. Goes for the TP, but the roll somehow reaches.
This is why
do my eyes deceive me? It looked like he jumped like 300 range additional to the actual roll.
He's got his hacks on, Gary. He just like rolled from the tier 2 all the way there, and it just landed.
That's bonkers.
Man.
Level
it's
10
like in
talent.
School, you know, you got like 50 is like the passive mark. You got 45, and the teacher's like, close enough. I'll give you the 50. You know, 5 extra.
Grading on a curve. And that level 10 talent's pretty handy for Moonlight. Going to allow him to catch the ET here as well. Spinning across the map, rolling into action. So from bot to top in a matter of seconds, getting a couple of nice juicy kills for themselves, and controlling 2 of these lanes, bot and mid. Some simple tier 2s for them. Spectre can just clear through that. Oh, Valky makes the jump on high ground. Yule's out from Jupiter with the arrow. They do remove the Centaur from that initiation, but they still lose the sexy fat Mars, and he doesn't have buyback. Ooh. Looks like it's high ground time for the Latam defenders.
It is indeed. They also got that Solar Crest Centaur, so he's feeling good to buff up his carry. Or his Viper, who is the real carry in this game.
And Elder Titan, he's trying to slow this push down, but he puts himself at risk.
They got next on the BKB though,
Crystal Maiden. Maiden's dying to the tower hits. Oh, she's gone. The glyph comes out, so the multi-shot's there.
They can defend this. 100% they can defend this on BINOMISTAS. They're not going to lose this mid-racks. They're going to pop the EXO. They're going to get in there with Benny. They're waiting for the light, maybe the Mirana arrow to land on someone. No, they don't find the angle, and I think Latin defenders, they feel it. They feel...
Yeah.
Mars is reviving, Elder Titan's reviving, we stick around for this Rax, we will throw the game, even with the Aegis, let's just get out. We're being outnumbered right now. Good discipline there from Latin defenders.
Really smart. I've still got 2 minutes on that Aegis, so, Cook-a-Hook, he can just regen up, got clarities going. Farm out the jungle, and with that next haunt, think about their next play, because controlling this dire triangle with a couple of heroes, limiting the farm the dire are getting, you force their hand into a smoke from them.
You know what? I would like to see BINOMISTAS actually control this triangle, because they do have the strength in their lineup to be able to at least take over that part of the map. Get some vision out. Sit on a high ground. Viper walks in or Earth Spirit walks in. Get ready to blow them up. You got the Death Prophet Exo with the BKB. That can counteract the Viper's BKB. Let's make something happen, BINOMISTAS.
Get out
at this point, I don't like offensive plays from BINOMISTAS, but I would love to see some defensive plays at the moment. Just to turtle up and wait for Latin defenders to make a mistake.
Stand on top of some staircases. Hold the ramps.
1 minute left on this Aegis as well, so you might want to just time it with that.
Also a little bit A little bit awkward that they don't have a hero that can actually go and split push. No spirit, no puck or anything like that. Death Prophet's the only one that feels okay going and casting Crypt Swarm on that bottom wave.
My goodness. So did you see Sexy Fat's items this game? This man's playing like he's 20k up. All right.
It's interesting, isn't it? Blink Deso with a cloak.
He needs to infest.
Roll in. Infest tries to get into the Mars and run away, but Sexy Fat just being obliterated. Out jumps Benny, and the freezing field's going to shred straight through him with that Angel Maiden becoming the one true carry. They'll roll forward, roll and stomp, chain stun. Jupiter gone. No buybacks on any of these dire heroes. And it looks like this one is coming to a close. Aegis is reclaimed, but they move forward past the tier 4s, claiming yet another life and a roll and a Yules. Finding the Death Prophet all the way back inside her base. The Blink Stomp is there, and it is just perfect execution from the Latam defenders.
You know what, Gary? That's exactly what I mean. Sit on the high ground. DP shows bottom. Latin defenders like, oh, there's 4 heroes on this high ground. Let's just run on in there. They find the Lifestealer. He has to pop Rage, go infest the Mars with a Desolator. Like, you gotta be buying BKBs in these situations. You're playing against Earth Spirit, Centaur. Damage is not your problem. You have the damage. You just need to be able to stay alive and cast spells. You also have an Elder Titan who can provide a lot of damage for your team too. So, BINOMISTAS at the end of the day, I feel like they just got flustered, right? They played Viper against DP. DP struggled